Hi guys, I'm Chris Hughes, dietitian and founder of MEALZEE. I'll put this quick video together just to get you set up and started with how to create a meal plan within MEALZEE. By all means, reach out if you've got any questions and I can organise a time to chat further if you need any help. So this is the personal login. Okay, so you'll have come to this login. To download an actual meal plan, you'll just need to create a subscription that's suitable for you. So you can either do a one-off meal plan or $15 a week, or if you like, I can actually build it for you, and that would be $97. Now, we've got the marketplace. This is where you can come and choose from any of the ready-made meal plans. So all you need to do is come over and you can search. So you can sort by, calories here. Might be a certain amount of calories that you're looking for, or you can actually search by nutrition tags as well. So if you're looking for high protein, for example, you just sort, and there's the high protein, and it's sorted in calories, basically highest to lowest. Now you can come over and say, well, I want the week to, around 1,500 calories, and just add that to your profile, or you can go in and have a look at the information and add it that way. Now, if you do that, you still can make changes to it. Okay, so if I go over that, you've got to create the goal first, because this needs to put your specific information in. So your goal might be to lose weight. You might put in your height, your weight. I'm making all these up, of course. Your goal weight might be to be 90 kilos, and your physical activity level might be active, and it'll give you a description around that as well. Now, you can pick your meal patterns: breakfast, lunch, dinner. You might have a couple of snacks. There's no right or wrong here, but you just pick what's most suitable for you, or what you think will work best. This uses a predicted validated equation on how many calories to aim for, or kilojoules to aim for, depending on your preference. You can override that. So if you've been talking to a dietitian and they've said, no, aim for this amount, then you can type that in there and that will give you the ability to override. So you just hit find meals, and that's where the meal plan from the marketplace will appear. So it will appear there. Now you can use that. You can rename it if you choose to. You can actually edit out some of the meals. So you might not want that smoothie for breakfast, so you can go and cross that out and go and get another one. And then once you're happy with that, you can download it. So you can download the shopping list, the recipe cards, and the meal plan up there. But I'll show you that in a moment, because we'll go from starting from scratch. So if you wanted to build a plan from scratch, step one is to add new. And we'll call this week 1, 2023, or something like that, you might call it. Now, you've already used the energy calculator. It knows how many calories to aim for. If you do want to change that, you just go back into the goal and do that and change it here in the override. But for the sake of this, we're keeping it as is. Now, from here, you can select how many serves you want at each of these meals. So, for example, you might have 2 children and your partner, so you might want all the recipe cards at dinner to have 4 serves, whereas you might get breakfast for just yourself and your partner, for example. So you can change these. You can then change individually each meal, but just for the time being, it'll populate that across all of the 7 meals across the week. The next step, once you've done that, is to choose a meal tag. Okay, so are you a vegetarian or vegan, whatever it might be? You might look for simple recipes, which basically mean not very many ingredients or not many steps. And so you just tick simple. The next step is to select any nutrition tags that might be appropriate. So you might be looking for high protein or low carb or gluten-free, whatever it may be. And then you've got the excluded ingredients. So this is where you can actually add foods that you're allergic to or intolerant to, or you just dislike, okay? And you just hit enter there. Now, the key thing here is you need to remember is that you are talking to a computer. If you type the word nuts, it won't exclude cashews, because the word nuts is not in cashews. So in that instance, you would actually use the nutrition tag nut-free, and that will get rid of all recipes that contain nuts. Now, at the moment, we've got a limit of 2 tags of each, okay? Now, we've done that because the more tags you put, then the narrower the range of recipes become. So if you've got 2 meal tags, 2 nutrition tags, and 2 excluded ingredients, it needs to find a recipe that equals all of that criteria. And as such, the pool might only be small. So we're increasing the amount of recipes, and we will open that up. For the moment, there's just 2 of each. So once you've done that and you're happy with it, you then just hit auto generate. That will spin up a meal plan for you. And this is your base meal plan. Now, if you're just looking for, 7 days worth of options that are within a particular calorie range that you might be looking for, then that may be suitable for you to download, and then you can use them. And it might last you weeks to months, because, you might use these recipes on repeat, and you'll find they're all fairly interchangeable. You'll notice they're all around a very similar calorie level. So that way, it doesn't matter if you swap one of these meals for another. But if you wanted to create something that was more prescriptive and something that you're more likely to follow, then you're going to make edits. Now, to edit, we have a number of ways. The first is a drag and drop. So as long as you've got more than one serve there, you can drag and drop a recipe. So for example, I might want this birch and muesli Monday to Wednesday. So I will just drag and drop. And because I might make that for my wife and I would just make sure there's 2 serves of each. Okay, and that there is sorted. Now, a little MP box appears every time you drag a recipe. The purpose of that is probably best shown at a dinner. So, for example, let's say this dinner the night before, I want to take the leftovers the next day. So, if there was 4 serves needed the night before, but then an extra 2 serves needed for lunch the next day, I would just add those 2 serves and make it a 6-serve recipe. I'll make it a 5-serve recipe. No, I would do a 6, and then I would tick this box. So the MP stands for meal prep. Now, the purpose of this is to reflect that all of the meals it's to reflect that it was prepared at an earlier time. So what happens is that goes to 0, and then I would have 6 serves there. So I'd need to prepare 6 serves the night before and 0 serves there. And so this recipe card has got 0 ingredients that are added to the shopping list, whereas this one has got the ingredients for 6 serves, and that's what goes on the shopping list. And that's what the MP box stands for. These days, where I've dragged and dropped at breakfast, I just leave the MP box unchecked if I'm going to make it fresh every day. Now, the other way you can edit is you can actually unlock a meal, click on it, and then go and find a meal. Okay, so here it's giving me 19 recipes that are high protein and simple and don't have zucchini. Okay, now, so as you can see, the more tags that we add, the narrower the recipe range becomes. But I can actually search outside the calorie range, okay? So it's got all those tags plus a narrow calorie range. So if I hit show all recipes, it's going to go outside of that calorie range. If I hit load more, I'm now at 75 recipes that are high protein, simple, and don't have zucchini. You can sort of see that it's created a lot more recipes. I can click and have a look at this recipe. Is that something I want to add? Yes, then I just select it and it will put it there in its place. So you can manipulate the data. You can move things around. The lock and unlock feature is quite useful. So for example, I might want lower carbohydrate on certain days. So you can see that Saturday and Tuesday are particularly high in carbohydrates. So what I would do is just make sure the other meals are locked. Every other meal there is locked except for Wednesday there, because I edited it. But it was Sunday and Tuesday that are 150 grams. Sorry, Saturday and Tuesday that are 150 grams of carb. So what I would do is unlock Saturday and Tuesday. Now I might leave that one because I've edited that one on purpose. And then what I would do is I would come and add the low carb meal nutrition tag, and then hit auto generate. And because I've unlocked those meals, it will only replace those meals and it will leave all other meals locked. And that's how you can manipulate a little bit further. And you can see that we've gone from 150 down to 39 grams of carb on the Saturday, and Tuesday went from 150 down to 95. So it's a pretty big drop just by manipulating and using that lock feature. Once you're happy with the meal plan, you can have a look at the nutrition information. Come over here and then you can download the shopping list. Now, the benefit here is you can go and edit that shopping list. So you might already have apples, so you can delete that. Or you might want to edit how many asparagus, for example, so you can change the quantity there. And then once you're happy with that, you just download the list. And that will download you a shopping list, and it will look similar to that. It's all categorized with the colors that you're looking for. And then you can download all the recipe cards. Okay, so it'll download all the recipe cards, and then it will download the meal plan. And that downloads a meal plan that's 7 days. And it will look like this. Now, it's got a blue logo. Your logo will actually be green, the color, sorry, green for MEALZEE. It's only that I've just changed this account over from a professional. But yours will be the title there. All of these recipes here are a hyperlink, so you can just click on that recipe and it will download the recipe for you. And then so your recipe card will look like this, except green, and we'll have the MEALZEE logo. And you've got all the nutrition information and the steps there as well. And so it's as simple as that. There's your meal plan that you've created. You can come back the next week, create another one, and all of your recipes there are saved. So here it says that I've used 3 out of 20 plans. So it'll tell you how many plans you can create, and also how many credits you've got left, which will be up in that top right. Hopefully that helps, guys. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and I can help you as soon as possible. Thanks.